Mexican Americans.
Where's Mexico?
Mexico's right underneath America, and there are 31 states in Mexico. How many are in America, you guys?
50!
Good job, class.
When did they come to America?
Well, in order to answer your question, Camille, I have to tell you some history. Their heritage traces all the way back to Indian groups. That's their heritage, before the Spanish explorers arrived in the 1500s.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yes, it is, Tess. The Spanish came from Mexico in 1519, and they converted all the Indians to Christianity. And then, almost 100 years later, they came to America in what's now New Mexico and taught all the new Western settlers about mining and farming and things like that.
But why did they come to America?
Well, Tim, the Spaniards were establishing trade routes through America, and they needed the land. And then in 1846, they had the Spanish-American War, which made the boundary between Mexico and America now. So over the years and currently, farmers need cheap labor from Mexico to help in their farms and their factories.
Alright class, today we are going to play a little Jeopardy. Is everybody ready?
Yeah!
Alright, so the first we're going to do is communications for 100. What is the primary language spoken by Hispanics?
Spanish!
Spanish! Great job, everybody. Let's do time for 200. How do Hispanics feel about the future?
Oh, they don't care about
They
it.
don't really care about it.
Correct, they lack concern for the future. Alright, we're going to do environmental control for 200. What is believed about the future?
That it's not as important?
It's no
Correct.
control.
They have little control over what happens in the future. Let's do biological variations for 100. What airborne disease is common in Hispanic immigrants?
Tuberculosis.
TB, you guys are doing awesome. Alright, space for 400. How are girls treated once they have grown up?
I don't know.
I don't think I know.
Nobody knows? That's okay. They are taught to stay close to home to be protected by older males and family. Alright, communication for 300. How do Hispanics typically dress?
Modest.
Modestly. Great job, Tess. And we're going to do space for 500. How are males treated once they've grown up?
Don't they have to go somewhere to get their masculinity?
They go with other males.
Oh.
Great job. They go with other males to gain their machoism. Social 100 for 500. What religion is commonly practiced?
Christianity.
Catholicism.
Nice job, Tim, but it is going to be Catholicism. Great job, Caitlin. Biological variations for 300. What is a common psychological problem in Hispanics?
Depression.
Depression. Alright, social organization 400. How do children contribute to their family?
Financially.
Financially? Anything else?
They take care of their younger siblings.
Younger
too.
siblings. Great job. Space for 300. How do parents treat their children growing up?
Aren't they really caring?
They're nice to them.
They are.
They're
Great job. So the
permissive.
correct words are going to be permissive, warm, and caring for all. Social organization for 300. There is a high rate of pregnancy found in which age group?
Teenagers.
Teenagers.
Same as
Great
America.
job, you guys. Time for 100. How do Hispanics typically view time?
Ooh, present?
Present.
Present time. Great job. Communication for 400. As a healthcare provider, what should you do before beginning a physical exam?
They go into small talk before getting into big talk.
Great, so they really value conversation ahead, so it's great to establish a good connection before you start the physical exam to help gain respect. Time for 300. What do they value over quantity?
Quality.
Quality. Good job, you guys. Environmental control for 300. How do Hispanics view preventative measures?
That they're not necessary?
No influence on the future.
Great job. So what they do now, they believe will not have an influence later. That's why it's really important for us to talk about why it's important that they instill measures now to prevent what can happen. Biological variations for 200. What are 3 common illnesses Hispanics believe during pregnancy?
Oh, breastfeeding.
They might crave clay. They believe you cannot eat during breastfeeding at the same time, and that stress and anger cause bad breast milk.
Tim, awesome job. What about biological variations for 500?
Ooh.
Name 6 common health problems in Hispanics.
Diabetes.
Something else.
Diabetes, great. Hypertension, melanoma, hepatitis C, childhood obesity, and HIV, which is 3 times the rate of non-Hispanics.
I should take notes.
All right, environmental control for 100. What is their locus of control?
External.
External. You guys are doing so good. Communication for 500. When educating a patient about life changes, how should you address this? Does anybody know?
Nope, I don't know.
Avoid confrontation.
It's great to
good
gain their
job, Tim.
respect and avoid confrontation. Space for 200. What does sympatia mean?
Harmony.
Then harmony.
Respect and harmony. Great job. Communication for 200. How do Hispanics show affection for one another?
By touching.
Touching. They love to touch and show affection. They might even hold hands if they're the same gender.
Ooh.
Space for 100. What do Hispanics take pride in?
Their sense of togetherness.
They love their family and they love to be together, and they find such happiness and reward in everybody doing great, not just one person in the family. Who is the authority figure in the family?
The father.
The males, awesome job. And social organization for 100. What is Hispanic social identification?
I don't know.
Nobody knows? That's okay. That would be their family.
Oh.
They really value family. And our last one for 400. How do Hispanics view alcohol?
They like it.
It's party
They
time.
love it when it comes to parties, but it can lead to abuse, so you have to be careful.
Okay, we're going to talk about health and illness perceptions. First of all, traditional perceptions of health. It may be a result of good luck or reward from good behavior from God. Or they state that the equilibrium between hot and cold and wet and dry are good. Illnesses are believed to be a misfortune or bad luck, a punishment from God for evil actions or thoughts. It can be caused also by an imbalance of the cold and hot and wet and dry. Folk medicine, that is something that they use quite often. Health is a matter of chance and controlled by any force of nature. They combine the elements of European Roman Catholics and the view of the original Indians from Mexico. The folk healers, they start off by going to their family healer, who's usually a mom, a grandma, a sister, someone like that. They also go to yuberos, which use herbs and spices to try and heal the patient. Curanderos heal by divine will, so they believe that suffering is due to your sins, and then if those sins are not forgiven, then that'll cause death. Brujos are considered like witchcraft, so they do like black magic or any sorts of magic. The hot and cold conditions that they believe in, cold elements cause cancer, tuberculosis, or they affect the menstrual period. Hot causes fever, infection, or diarrhea. The foods that are associated, cold foods would be fruits and then fresh vegetables and honey. And the hot would be chocolate, chili peppers, and cheese. The medicine and herbs, cold would be sage, bicarbonate of soda, orange flower water. Hot would be penicillin, tobacco, or aspirin. Religion, in a crisis, they really rely on their priests and praying. If there's an illness that's present, some rituals are making promises to God, visiting shrines, and lighting candles. So now we're going to go ahead and have listen to Emily's videos.
Hi, my name is Emily, and I'm going to expand on ways Hispanic individuals may interact with healthcare providers. It's important to understand common behaviors that may be exhibited to provide the best possible holistic care. Due to a language barrier, some patients may be fearful or frustrated when participating in the healthcare system in America. Despite this, many Hispanics view nurses who attempt to speak some Spanish as caring and respectful. But remember, always use an appropriate translator to communicate with the client. Additionally, establish a trust-based relationship and work closely with other folk medicine providers or family members to gain insight to total care if applicable. Dramatic body language is common when describing something, and oftentimes Hispanic report worse symptoms when speaking in English than if they were to speak in Spanish. When providing care for a Hispanic client, avoid responding to the client in a joking manner, using slang, or isolating patient from extended family. Do attempt to devise short-term goals that include family and community resources. Additionally, understand, research, and ask the patient questions if their illness is considered hot or cold. Finally, respect your client's wishes and culture. In order to identify population-based health and healthcare disparities among Hispanics, we must first address a few important statistics that relate specifically to the United States. By 2050, it is estimated Hispanics will be 25% of the U.S. population. Additionally, it has been shown that social factors may play a major role in Hispanic health. According to the CDC, among Hispanics living in the United States, about 1 in 3 has not completed high school. Additionally, about 1 in 4 lives below the poverty line. Finally, about 1 in 3 does not speak English well. All of these are factors that contribute to health disparities among Hispanics. A major issue remains that 33% of Hispanics are not insured, primarily because they work for employers who do not offer it, or may feel they do not need it because they are healthy. Lack of health insurance is associated with not having a usual source of care, fewer referrals for procedures, and increased unmet healthcare needs in general. Services like an ambulance ride, sudden sickness, and dental care can be financially debilitating to these types of patients. Hispanics' locus of control, which is focused on present-time health, can attribute to deficient preventative care, late detection of disease, and poor chronic disease management. Screening and treatment are particularly important for the control and prevention of conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Overall, these disparities in rates of healthcare utilization contribute to the progression of advanced disease and worse outcomes, including death, among Hispanics living in the United States.
Okay, so class, I know you're going to be graduating nursing school really soon, so I want to take time and answer any and all questions that you have about caring for Mexican Americans.
Are Mexican Americans good about taking their meds?
Generally not, sadly, because the American system is really rigid and time-focused, but the traditional Hispanic culture thinks that the present time is way more important than the future time. So it's a concept called elasticity. Because of this, what do you guys think that you could do to help them get to an appointment on time or take their medications on time?
Tell them to go to the doctor's 20 minutes before their appointment.
Perfect, exactly. How about their meds?
Tell them what happens when they don't take it.
Yeah, perfect.
Do we have to talk to the father of the male before doing
anything? Yeah. No, actually, in this culture, the male is important, but the extended family and the immediate family is way more important. Sometimes your client will have a hard time working on like certain medical regimens, so suggesting that they talk to their family about it helps a ton. The family can also do basic cares like bathing and cleaning and stuff like that. Any other questions?
Does an Mexican American female care if I take care of them?
That's a good question, Tim. Like a lot of other cultures, it does matter. The females tend to not like males taking care of them. Same with males, they don't like a female nurse taking care of them, especially in labor and delivery, because women believe that their body should only be seen like that by their husbands. Good job, you guys.
Alright, some of the biblical worldviews that are about the same as Mexican American culture is that the head of the family is typically the male, and that's seen throughout in the Bible. Another thing that's kind of the same is that when something bad happens to the family, or somebody in the family does something that shames the rest of the family, it usually falls on the head of the family, which is the male. Something that's different is that Mexican Americans typically think that what they do now doesn't affect them in the future, or it holds like little value of what they do. Something that it says in the Bible, it says in Proverbs 6:4-8, don't put it off, do it now. Don't rust until you do. Save yourself like a gazelle escaping from a hunter, like a bird fleeing from a net. Take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and become wise. Though they have no prince or governor or ruler, they make them work. They labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter. So this isn't just to just make Mexican Americans sound bad, but it's just saying the importance. It's just expanding on the importance of how working now for the future is just plays that much big into a part. So something to consider is that Mexican Americans are different, but it's not like we can't understand them. In the first part of John 3:16, it says, "For God so loved the world." God didn't just come for Americans or Germans or Brazilians. He came for them, but he also came for the rest of the world. And so for Christians, it's important for us to remember that as our ultimate example, Jesus came for the whole world. We're not supposed to just judge those who are different from us.